Lubanovic.
And I'm Aliyah Graham.
And this is your
A News.
National embarrassment. Donald Trump sent an incoherent letter to Turkish President Erdogan last week, to which most of the nation's reply was, "Is this thing real?" Which is normally a comment reserved for his hair, his skin tone, his children, or his marriage. Unfortunately, the answer this time is yes.
Donald Trump has made a comment about the impeachment inquiry, calling it a lynching. Ah, yes, a privileged white man who's never had to fear for his life because of the color of his skin definitely knows what it means to be lynched.
New York City will be adding a statue of 3 real women to Central Park. This will be a first, as the other 23 statues are men, and all the other women represented in the park are fictional, just like my patience with this issue.
An update on Lori Loughlin, USC controversy, is that her daughter is no longer enrolled. That's great news for the daughter, that is, seeing as she can work on her YouTube channel, just in time for Vlogmas.
Alaska has announced the winner of the Fat Bear Contest, which is an online thing where people take polls to vote on who is the fattest bear. And the winner of that contest is Holly, the queen of corpulence. Congratulations. West Hollywood has nothing on her.
There's been a recent innovation of a phone case that looks and feels like human skin. No one asked for this. Personally, I just want a phone charger that doesn't stop working after 2 weeks.
Skin thing is weird. In other tech news, Samsung has launched a new smartphone that can fold in half. I didn't realize sending phone tech back 10 years was part of the plan. Hopefully they can bring back militant indestructibility and a battery that doesn't have to be charged for a month.
It happens about once a year, but articles have resurfaced about how red wine is good for you. I can't help but think about how much money the soccer moms around the world put in to bribe scientists to write them.
You can't ignore that soccer mom lobby. That's how the Honda Odyssey is still in production, and so are Baby Yoda costumes, even though those babies haven't even seen Star Wars. Posers.
Speaking of Halloween, here's costume connoisseur Ashley Broomstick.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Mine. Thank you for having me. Now, what is everyone being for Halloween?
I'm being a cat.
I'm being an RA.
Wow. Bummer.
I know.
Well, that's not the worst thing you could do, dress up as an RA.
No, I have to be it.
What are your tips for dressing up?
Well, my biggest pet peeve is non-creative costumes. There's a difference between a classic and a boring. So let me tell you right now what the difference is. Well, there's the witch or a cat, and that's super classic. But you look really bad if you just don't commit to it,
But how can you tell?
If there's a titty window, then there's effort.
I got it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I could really show you how to make your RA costume really better if you just give me a second. I could open up your shirt.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm not trying to get fired.
Yeah.
Not today.
Well, anyway, maybe there's some other time I can do that for you. So there's costumes that are super nice, but it's that one time where you're the funniest part about costumes, when the costume, that costume is part of a group. Or a couple's costume. When that one person shows up as a piece of bread with jelly on it, but no one else comes and is the piece of bread. So it's literally just a piece of bread. They have no other person with them. That's the best.
Don't you think that's a little sad?
No, not at all, because then they still are super dedicated, and that's the best part. And they're having a good time and getting trashed enough to forget that they are alone in just a big piece of foam.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, well, maybe the best costume and the greatest costume is the cheapest. You just grab whatever you own, you just throw it together, something you can be a rave girl or a hippie, and that's super great because you don't even have to spend money on it. It's just totally free.
I do like free.
Yeah, we do like free. Even better are those costumes that there are people just throw them together and they're just super sexy stuff. Like, you know, like a super sexy green fedora. Or like a super sexy pair of fishnets or like a Goku t-shirt. Like all those really sexy things you just, woo, get you going.
All right.
Yep.
Goku t-shirt?
Yep, Goku t-shirt. You know, I could really just make your shirt really sexy.
Oh my God,
I can
no.
rip it
No
open,
thanks,
baby.
no thanks. I'm really good.
Alright, maybe next turn.
Okay. That looks like all the time we have. I'm Maria Lubanovic.
And I'm Aliyah Graham.
And this is your
A News.
Happy Halloween.
Happy October!